recorded, so just know that. I know Tina was wondering. Hey everybody, good to see some familiar faces in here. Super excited to get started on this. Okay, I'm going to get started. Thanks everybody for joining. We're excited to have you tuned in today. Welcome to the Coinbase Developer Platform Workshop Series. Today will be a little bit shorter workshop as it's, building an app in 15 minutes. So yeah, we'll be building your first OnchainKit app in 15 minutes. So I'm your host, Bobby Lee, running all community and education operations here at CDP. So with that being said, I want to introduce you to Tina. Tina is the product manager of OnchainKit. And today she'll be running through a few things. So what is OnchainKit? What are the features of OnchainKit? Why to use OnchainKit? Using OnchainKit with AI tooling. And lastly, she'll share the love for the community and ways for you to share feedback. So with that being said, just a housekeeping notes, just some quick things. So at the end, we will have Q&A. So no need to raise your hand in here. Just put all of your questions in the chat on the right, and we'll be monitoring that. We're not going to have Tina stop talking and answer your questions. We'll usually just answer all the questions in the end that we can get to. So just remember to put them in the chat. And we'll have Ellie monitoring that here. And we just ask that you keep all of your questions relevant to the topic at hand and to the workshop and OnchainKit, and to be respectful to everyone speaking and presenting. And this session will be recorded and will be available for viewing later on Coinbase YouTube channel. And there's a YouTube channel that you can see in Discord, and we will link that there and make an announcement when it's ready. And we'll also post that on Twitter. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to hand things over to Tina, and she'll get started with the workshop.
Thank you, Bubbly. Hey, everyone. Let me share my screen really quickly. Awesome. Hello, everyone. Thank you for taking the time. This session will be recorded, so you feel free to, also rewatch this session after the workshop. But as Bubbly mentioned, I'm Tina, and I'm the product lead for a bunch of base developer tooling, including OnchainKit, and that you may be familiar with. And my ex is here if you want to follow along some of the progress that we've been making. So today, as Bob Lee mentioned, we're going to talk quickly about what is OnchainKit, some of the features, also why I use OnchainKit, also using OnchainKit with AI tooling, which is something that personally I'm super excited about. And the last piece is just some sharing of our new social account that just launched, and ways to share feedback with us. So what is OnchainKit? So if you think about developer tooling and evolution of it. So a lot of it is like building abstraction around complexities that developers don't necessarily have to know. And in this case, OnchainKit is a set of ready-to-use full-stack components to make building on-chain faster and easier. So what that means is you can think of them as like pre-cooked, pre-prepped meals that you can just make a dinner in 5-10 minutes versus like making the potatoes or like whatever that is from scratch. And the mission of OnchainKit really is that, we believe vibe coding is going to be this big trend that it's going to onboard, not only, tens of thousands of developers that we currently have on Ethereum, but also, that our goal is that your mom or like anybody can build something like their personal finance app with yield with OnchainKit. So this is a great meme, I think, from the base account that I'm borrowing here. We've got some really great community love, and actually recently some of our most active users are actually non-developers. And many of them mentioned that, by using with AI tooling, they actually don't even need to write any code at all. And then OnchainKit kind of works out of the box. And that is the type of, DevX that we're really aiming to have. So why OnchainKit? So the first and I think the most interesting and profound is that OnchainKit is full stack. It abstracts away complex configuration and setup. So one example is that there's this great feature from the CDP platform called Paymaster, which is essentially an account abstraction standard that allows you to pay for users' transactions on behalf of them. But then like setting up a Paymaster can be pretty complex. And also, when users have to bring their wallets and pay for gas, it's not a pleasant experience. So OnchainKit, I will show later in the presentation, actually makes that super simple where you don't have to do any manual integrations. It just works with a prop that you can pass along inside of any components. So that's just one example. Another example is that we recently launched this component that I'll show later called Earn, which is a way to earn yield from vaults. So we started with Morpho vaults, but we're going to extend to other vaults as well. And contract integrations can be a little scary. And like if you're new to crypto or Web3, like you don't know how APIs work, you don't know how like the contract actually works. And so it's like kind of scary to integrate those things. So we kind of like have the entire full stack, from APIs all the way to contract, and also React hooks, and then also the abstracted components, like we kind of bundle them all together, to provide this full stack experience. And the second piece, which is like obviously very exciting, is that we ended up creating a dev access so simple that it became actually very AI friendly. So this makes it very easy to leverage, our favorite tools like Cursor, Windsurf, Klein are some of the popular ones. And recently we partnered with O'Hara, that we'll highlight later too, to use OnchainKit without writing any line of code. And the third piece is that we're serverless. So, you can just use Vercel or any of these kind of AI tooling to host your app, or Replit. So you don't have to spin up a server or anything like that. You can just use OnchainKit kind of off the shelf. We handle all of that for you. And the last piece, already talked about it many times. It's we really, really want to make building very delightful and very easy. So we standardize a lot of the components that a lot of time it really is like a couple lines of code. You drop in something like a swap, and then you have the entirety of the swap component working end to end. And actually, this is a screenshot that's like very exciting recently, where this presentation is called like building an app in 15 minutes. And actually, the reason why there's like an East Denver tag here, I'm giving a talk later with another product manager, Nick, at East Denver about building an app also in 15 minutes. And actually, we're no longer building an app in 15 or 10 minutes. Now someone actually shared a screenshot of themselves building an app in 3 minutes and with a timer on it. And that's kind of how long it's going to take now to build an app. So just want to encourage everyone to give it a shot, even if you might not know how to develop. A lot of our latest users, as I mentioned, are actually not developers. So just want to quickly highlight a couple components that we have that are pretty popular, and just to spark some imagination of like potentially the things that you can build with them. So one is earn component, which is like a single line of code earned, and you're able to integrate with Morpho vaults, and start to earn yield. So use cases are like you can build a personal savings app, or you can build like a social experience with like some type of yield earning component in it. The second, obviously, it's like a very popular one, which is a wallet component. It allows you to connect with, MetaMask, Phantom, and also, of course, Coinbase Wallet and also Smart Wallet. Also, very simple integration with like tons of configuration that I will touch on later, to have like different shapes, in terms of your preference. Yeah, this one is very fun. It's an identity component. So one of the biggest thing about building on chain is that you have this interoperability of social graph. So once you kind of have a base name and then have your X account and then your personal website or GitHub account resolved to the ENS record that base name is built on top of, in the future when you use like identity component, you can basically have like the users social profiles on the get-go, which solves the co-start problems of a lot of these social apps. And then we have the buy component, which is actually, a very elegant like on-ramp and swap solution to buy any tokens. And we can just insert your tokens contract address, and you're able to insert this like very cool kind of commerce like buying flow with Apple Pay, with ETH, with USDC, with of course like also the user's Coinbase account as well. And of course, we have the swap component, which is the very one of the most popular ones as well in our library, to swap any tokens. And then we also have the transact component, which actually one of the most powerful and versatile one, where you can just pass in any contracts API, and basically we can bundle all of that into a transact component for you. So this is very powerful, and actually most of our components are powered by this atomic transact component, where you can basically bundle any transactions, and you can do batch transactions as well with account abstraction with this component. So this is like one example, like I mentioned earlier, how OnchainKit is making integration very easy and in a full stack way. So this is like one code snippet of how easy it is to just have a swap component. And then you just add a prop. It's sponsored. And then now the transactions when you use swap is now sponsored. And another example is theming. So OnchainKit comes with like a lot of these really beautiful themes, like default themes, and we have a base theme of cyberpunk theme. And all you need to do is when you set up your provider for OnchainKit, you can basically select in the config file appearance for your kit. You're able to select from different themes that we're providing, and we definitely welcome community contribution here. If you have any idea for a cool theme that you want to add to the library, we're definitely open-minded for that. But also you can override like any theming with class names if you have some basic understanding of CSS. And another very cool thing is wallet customization. So you basically, when you use a smart wallet before or Coinbase wallet, you can see that there's kind of a pop-up that showcase kind of your app's name. So you can like pass in your app's name, your app's name's logo to make that experience much more personalized. And the other very cool thing is we basically built this wallet aggregator that aggregates, MetaMask and other type of wallets as well. All you need to do is to set like a modal display over here. And then you can also pass in like your company's, for example, privacy URL or any terms to make that basically modal customized for you. If without the modal, you basically would get like a default Coinbase wallet and a smart wallet experience. But with the modal, you now have a wallet aggregator. So that's also a cool feature that I want to highlight. Yeah, so this is the very exciting part, which is OnchainKit and AI tools. So we recently had this great partnership with Hera, where essentially you can just tell them and tell the tool that, hey, I want to build in like a savings app on Base with OnchainKit. Like if you specify the toolkit, like O'Hara essentially like automatically route the preference and configuration for you. So you don't have to set up even anything, and it kind of just works out of the box. The domain is O'Hara.ai if you want to give it a shot. And recently we've seen some really great success with builders just building a full stack app without really just writing any code and even setting up the GitHub repo and just use O'Hara to kind of build an app from start to finish. And yeah, this is a quick call to action. We snatched this really nice package name from Node package manager called build on chain. So if you run in your terminal, for those of you that can code, npm build on chain, you basically scaffold an app with all these components and come as battery packs inside of the pre-built template for you. And this is a very exciting launch that we recently had. It's basically called Base for Builders, and the social handle is called Build on Base. So this is a completely redesigned and streamlined experience that finally unified a lot of these tools that we've been building for the past year, and basically make this the best experience that you can find on chain and consolidate all of these resources. So definitely go take a look at base.org/builders to check it out and some of the features that we have there. Yeah, that's all I have for the presentation. And definitely want to leave enough room for questions as well. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Yeah, ask away some questions in here if you have any. I'll get started with a couple questions I have for you. How is OnChainKit different from other toolkits in the market?
Yeah, totally. So I would say that there's a couple announcements that are coming that are super exciting. So if you think about Base, by the end of the day, it is a network. And you can think of like Snapchat has a Snap Kit to build in the Snapchat network, and Facebook has a set of SDKs to build in the Facebook network. So there's a lot of features that we're building that are actually helping developers with distribution and monetization, not just a dev tooling like AWS, although we also are that with CDP. We have a lot of these advanced features, but some of the features that excite me the most are features that can actually help developers earn more in the network, get more distribution and visibility. And one of those that I will tease a little bit is called MiniKit, which is a way to build mini apps and boost your distribution inside of Coinbase Wallet as a platform. So that's something that I'm very excited about. And OnchainKit is like, thinking about that every day.
Okay, another question is OnChainKit free to use for people to get started?
Yes, OnchainKit is fully free to use. And we actually are adding more fee modules for apps to start monetizing. If, let's say, your interface is generating flow or transactions with our swap component, you're actually able to add a fee server side. So that allows you to monetize more easily. OnchainKit is currently not taking any cut of that.
Cool. Okay, another question until we have some more questions in the chat. How does one get started using OnchainKit? Like, what are the next steps for people that are watching this and they're super excited to get started?
Yeah, I would say, yeah, go to base.org/builders. And if you're a developer, run npm build on chain. You're able to basically scaffold an app, and then try out O'Hara.ai, because yeah, you don't have to write any code, and you can build something fun and with OnChainKit and see what it can do.
Yeah. Okay, so what is the roadmap now for OnchainKit? What are things that you're working on, excited about? What are some things coming soon? If you have any of that to share, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, totally. I would say that the three ideas that I'm most excited about, I kind of teased a little bit in the beginning, of how we differentiate. The first one is obviously MiniKit, um, which is like basically a super easy way to build a mini app that works across both Warpcast and also Coinbase Wallet. So now you have like, this kind of protocol layer that allows you to configure all these different preferences, like, metadata and how you want your image to show up, like different ways to make transactions. But it shows up on all these clients like Warpcast and Coinbase Wallet. So that's really cool for you to tap into, like, different groups of users. So that's definitely one that I'm very excited about. The second piece is like new components that are built on AgentKit. So yeah, like basically you can think of one that we're super excited. It's called Intent. So basically users can say, hey, I want to swap, like basically natural language, right? I want to swap 2 ETH, with whatever other token that we want. And then we just take that human input, translate that into an on-chain transaction, and execute it for you. So that's another use case that we hear a lot. And also it's very good for like protocols in the beginning, when they want to educate people, like, what are the vaults that are available, or, how where does yield come from? Like we're able to basically educate them with these human language as well. So we kind of see like basically these conversational interfaces, as the next stage of just people interacting with on-chain. So excited for OnChainKit to play a role here. And the third piece that we're very excited about is like monetization. So we just kind of briefly touch on that. But something that we're excited about that will also happen, kind of be a part of both MiniKit and also Coinbase Wallet, is subscriptions. So in the future, when you build an app, like you publish it to Coinbase Wallet, and imagine like people can now, kind of like an app store, they can now subscribe to your app. For example, if you want to launch like a market insights app, and then the user can just like automatically pay, maybe your insights app also has your native token called insights, they can just pay the native token, to both pay for gas, and also just like pay to use the app. So that's also very exciting. So that's also kind of on the horizon.
Awesome. Sounds like a lot of stuff. Yeah. Okay, so we do have some questions coming in from the chat. So I want you to scan those quick to see if those are something that you'd like to answer, and then I will, yeah, ask you those questions live. So we have one from Coinbase, actually, from Os, that I can share.
Will users be able to claim their earnings from earn component? Yes, they can. We have a withdraw like tab, which is exactly for that. So
Okay.
that is answered.
Okay, cool. Then the next one about, no, first of all, very well done packing so much information. So that's awesome. And then does O'Hara.ai also work with NFT functions?
Yes.
Yes.
Short answers, yes.
Okay, great. Cool. Okay, so we'll watch for more questions coming in, but I know that you're at ETH Denver, and so am I. So I know that you're running a workshop or doing some things here with OnChainKit. Did you want to share anything today about, yeah, just kind of what workshops you're running, in case people in the audience or people on Twitter are going to be are interested?
Uh, we have a presentation today at 3 Mountain Time, I believe. So if you're in ETH Denver, so definitely stop by. The other workshop I believe is on Wednesday sorry, Thursday at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. And that will also be around the venue.
Cool.
But definitely we will send more information to confirm, but that's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
coming.
yeah. Check Twitter and everything for all of that. But I just wanted to put a shout out for that of folks that are here. Okay, cool. So I don't have any more questions coming in. We can kind of close things up and keep the conversation going, of course, in Discord. And it's been awesome having you, pleasure having you today, Tina. And we're going to be running a challenge after this for people that went to this workshop or watching it. So watch out for that. Ellie will make an announcement on the challenge that we're going to run. We're going to start running challenges after all of our workshops. So look out for that. And to keep the conversation going, like I said, in the OnchainKit channel here in Discord. So that's where you can kind of keep chatting. And Ellie just linked that in the chat. Thank you. And thanks everybody for joining us today. We love having these shorter workshops and longer workshops. We'll do a mix of advanced topics, beginner topics, and no question is, yeah, as someone said, it's a newbie question. So we love all questions and different people learning from different levels that they have of interest in Web3 and of interest in crypto and Coinbase's tools. So keep coming to our workshops and stuff. And we'll see you at our next workshop this week. We have one. And if you're also in East Denver, like I said, we have a lot of things going on this week. So watch the CDP Luma page with all the workshops there listed. And also stop by our hackathon booth. We have a booth, and at the conference we have a booth. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks everybody for coming. Thanks Tina, thanks Ellie, and we'll chat with you guys later. Thanks so much.